Okay, this is the March 6, 2018 meeting of the Economic Development Commission. We have a quorum tonight, Carol Gogolinski, Eric Chamberlain, and myself, Paul Peterson. And I'm the vice chair, I believe, I still am. And our chair is not here tonight, he's out in California, or at least traveling out to it. So, we don't have any minutes from the last meeting.
Right.
And just going back to when we last met, I think it was December,
Yep.
and that's when we, from CMRPC, got this
Oh, okay.
little presentation that they gave us. And then January, I don't know if it was a no quorum or a lack of people showing up, but we didn't have a meeting in January. Or if it was maybe a snowstorm. And then February, no meeting also.
Yep,
But
okay.
March, we're at least
We're
having.
here. The weather's better.
Yeah. And I personally am glad because there's a need to have Economic Development Commission that's active, at least meeting, and we need to keep things going and not just have a committee with nobody showing up on it, you know?
Now, this is this week, this is what we got from CMRP, because I was asked by, actually, a former select person, just what are they doing for the money that we've been giving them? And I said, well, I guess that's a good question.
Yeah,
What are they doing?
CMRPC.
Yeah, what are they
Well,
doing
this-
for the money we're giving them?
Yeah, this is the output that
Okay.
we got from them. So I guess what I was thinking tonight, since we don't really have any big issues, maybe just take a look at what they gave us.
Okay.
You got a copy of it, Eric?
Yep.
Where do you get those copies?
We'll have to email you one.
Oh,
We,
okay.
we did email them out.
Oh, okay.
At
maybe
one
I won't
point.
Open it up.
You don't have a smartphone, Carol?
I do. You know how to get it on there?
Is your email connected to it?
Yeah, it is.
I was just looking through it, and I'm up to page, whatever page this is, 10 or something like that. They give the projected population for Douglas, which was interesting. It looks
Right
like
there.
20,
The addendum is the bottom, the one he's looking at is
Oh,
right there.
great.
yeah, so where I am is maybe 10 pages. in
Page
there.
5.
Okay, I
Page
see.
5?
Okay,
Page
I'm
5.
gonna get a little bigger so I can see.
Population growth with projections?
Right,
Yep. Page 5.
and well, I guess right now we're at 8,600,
Yep,
and I always thought we were growing faster than what they've projected here.
yep,
I mean, they're saying 2020, 9,000, that's not too many more. 2030, we're only growing by 400
right.
people.
Well, part of it is, there's only so much land too. And we have pretty rigid zoning, there's a 2-acre minimum.
And
then there's
200 frontage.
200 frontage, and there's also, a lot of wetlands, which I'm sure there is everywhere, but, so,
Douglas is particularly wet.
yeah, so that,
Yeah.
that's a lot of.
It's one of the reasons, but you take a town like, I don't know, Grafton or
Yeah.
even closer, Shrewsbury, they're probably no bigger in physical size than Douglas,
Yeah.
but look at populations of
Well,
them,
they
you
have
know?
a lot of smaller lot sizes and more sewer and stuff like that, so
True.
you can build on smaller lots.
Apartment buildings,
And, because that's part of the thing.
And where do the
with-
highways run relative to those communities as
right
well?
through them,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Like the major ones?
Route
Well,
9,
Okay, yeah. Route 9's a
Yeah.
big vein.
And, Grafton, you get over onto the Mass Pike.
Mm.
But of course, now you get on the Mass Pike and here fairly somewhat easily.
yeah.
But, one of the things with this population projection, because that's the problem. when
2040,
people
it's
want-
9,800, almost 10,000 people.
Yeah.
That's,
which isn't
and
too
that's
big.
like 22 years off.
Right, and that's still not big enough to bring in, like, CVS's or anything like that, or, but I have an idea on that. And basically, economic development, what do we want for why do we want economic development? We want it so we get some more tax revenue.
Well, we wanted to get jobs for people,
Well, jobs for people, but tax revenue too, especially. And I think that, yeah.
Non-resident taxes.
Well, see, doesn't necessarily have to be non-resident, because, there's a real good market there that basically is just cash coming in, and that's over 55. Because they take very little services.
Mhm.
The only services they might take is the ambulance. And we'd make money off of the ambulance, so
Yeah, get
not that
paid.
we're wishing that on anyone. And I really think that we should set up an area where we could do over 55 on extremely small lots, high density, very high density. I mean, I was in Texas years ago when I was in the Builders Association. They put $3 million houses on 5,000 square foot lots.
Mhm.
And look at the size of Texas. We get, houses on 2 acres, but do a high density, 4,000 or 5,000 square foot lots.
Yeah, California is basically like 6 feet between,
Exactly.
and then, they're
you know what?
$800,000 homes.
Yeah.
And you can reach across and touch your
Right.
neighbors, and their backyard is basically the size of a,
A patio.
like a patio, exactly, a
Exactly.
patio,
Just a
a concrete
10-foot
patio is their
10-foot
backyard.
backyard.
and
But
it's-
you know what? If he's 70 years old, that's probably enough to take care of, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
You don't want a big backyard.
You don't
when
want, and the other thing
when
too
you're
is,
80.
a situation that what you could do is that basically the property, the land itself would be under a condominium type of agreement. Basically, so that town doesn't take care of the roads,
Mhm.
they don't take care of anything. The people would get into agreements where they hire somebody to do that. And the other thing too is then they hire people also that not only come in and do, they not only come plow the road, but they shovel off their
Right.
walkway in front of their garage.
Landscaping.
And landscaping is done. So if we got some area where we could zone it with high density,
So you'd have to rezone it?
you'd have to rezone it.
Or rather, you'd have to create a zone category,
Create a
right?
zone category for it with extremely high density, over 55, probably allow, a clubhouse, swimming pool, even convenience store, coffee shop, that could be even open to, I'll tell you where that's being done right now, it's down in Plymouth.
Oh, the Plymouth Estates or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it?
So my question
Yeah,
is,
okay.
I like it.
Yeah,
Is that really economic development?
yeah, I think it is.
It is because we're getting
Well, number one,
money, that's
we
economy,
get money
right?
in for taxes.
Which is not
Two,
being,
we'd actually, if you're going, looking for, if you wanna get some businesses into town and stuff,
You need to
There's
provide
not
services for
enough people.
those, right?
so now you gotta provide services to these people.
Dry cleaners,
possibly maybe a hospital
accountants,
branch or something
Yeah.
like that.
any number of services
Right.
that the average person uses.
CVS,
And
the drugstore,
and
Yeah, a lot of
55-year-olds,
medication.
Yeah.
55-year-olds tend to be in the best earning of their years, the
Right.
best earning potential of their
Right.
lifetime in the 55, so they tend to splurge a
Right.
little bit too.
and,
So
that is,
potential restaurants,
Yeah.
potential.
exactly, and that is the one, thing that you can, limit no children. That's the only thing you can. I could, if I went to rent the thing and said no kids, I'd
Can
Is
you?
that-
no,
is that
go to
legal
jail.
to do that?
Oh, yes.
It is?
Because it's over 55.
In the
It's-
state of
It's
Massachusetts?
state of Massachusetts, it
No,
is
do you
legal,
have to-
and federally as well.
Do you
too.
still have to adhere to low-income housing regulations?
No, you don't.
Okay.
It's not a 40B,
No,
right?
it wouldn't be
It's
a 40B.
So it's exempt from that?
40B, the reason they use 40B is they override our zoning.
Okay,
40B overrides the zoning, okay? So
Right.
they have to do this.
okay.
If we set in a place where we actually allowed and encouraged this, it wouldn't be that at all.
So what would the first step be?
Yeah, how about the state forest estates or something like that?
Well.
Build tree houses?
Pretty much, you're really gonna have to have it in an area.
All of the states, all of the states.
In an area where there's town sewer, unless you,
Mm.
unless you find an area that is big enough where they could do their own.
The high school flows down, right,
Right,
down Northwest Maine, down
Right.
over Charles and into the water treatment, right?
right.
Does it go all the way to Granby Tech? Or,
No, the sewage doesn't go up that far.
so does it stop at the high school or around the
Yes.
high
Yeah, right
school?
around the
Yeah.
high school.
And then the other side, it stops just before GBI, right?
I'll
Right.
tell you a place that
Got
that would be a good place for it, because the sewer and everything's there, right on the corner of North Street.
Well, another good place would
Yeah.
be the old grammar school. Convert that into
That
an
is, I don't think we can get enough people in it to make it viable.
profitable for some.
But
So
profitable
they-
for a
I think they
developer.
wanna potentially look at making the old grammar school the new police station.
Right, but it's just not profitable, even if they put
Right.
you need to go into a lot more density than that, and you need to get a lot more density, a lot more people, so they can get some of the services that they want, like
Mhm.
probably like a clubhouse. And
Mm.
But,
So the sewerage would be a big issue, right? Because there's nothing around the sewerage area here that's
right,
available for something like that, a big place, right?
well, it depends on what you're doing for density. I don't know
Mm.
how much, land is available over there on the corner of North and Gilboa.
But to make it economical for the town,
Right.
or rather worth the town's
Yeah.
while, you want 200 people? What are we talking here?
14 acres, something like that.
Yeah,
North of Gilboa.
14 or more, yeah. And who knows if there's more available out of the mill goes all the way up there.
Mm.
I would say,
So do we agree it's economic development? It's an economic development discussion?
I think so.
Probably is. It's a way we can
I
develop
think
our
anything that falls
economy.
under the purview of making the town money
Yeah.
can be considered economic development.
I think we should talk with Matt.
Mm.
I mean, this has been done
Matt?
before,
Our
our town
Town
administrator.
Mhm.
I mean, this has been done
I haven't
before.
met the guy
Well, he seems a pretty nice guy. I mean, it's not been done before elsewhere, so you've gotta find out what they did elsewhere. But you know what, they're gonna be, I know, what they're gonna be saying, oh, well, you know, we'll do 10,000 square foot plots. No, you've gotta really increase that density.
yet. So like condos?
Yeah.
Is that
They
what-
could be condos, but I would say that they could be,
Townhouses.
townhouses, they could be condos,
You know, there are a lot, Fountainhead and Westboro.
Yeah.
Some of those
Yep.
big
Right,
high-rise
yep.
buildings
could even be that.
could,
Do we have zoning regulation that you can't be above the tree line in
We have a
Douglas?
we have a 35-foot max.
Okay.
Except that in the industrial zone, I think we had 60 feet. And the fire chief did say that he did not have a problem with that they have ladders and
They got
stuff. that are
ladders
big
and
enough for it.
look-
Yeah,
I'm just surprised that usually New England towns like to keep it below the tree line.
Yeah.
So it's not, an
Well,
eyesore, especially in towns that have a majority of commuters.
right,
So, this is where they live versus where they work.
right.
They don't want,
there'd
Well-
probably be opposition, I'm sure, you know?
oh, of course it would
And
be.
again, it could be
That
done,
financial
it might
aspect
be
of it.
able to be done without being high-rise.
Right.
It depends on how much of a density you're allowed on
Hey, so
on the size of the
How
lots.
about the financial aspect of it? Do you think the town services they consume would be less in dollar value than the
Definitely.
cost of their?
So what are they gonna assume, what services are they gonna require?
Just, I don't know, police, whatever else.
Yeah,
we
usually,
use.
they're not getting into too many fistfights at that age,
Make it a gated community, now they have their own private security.
Yeah, but I mean, usually, they don't get into,
I'm
this
just kidding.
policy. You
So-
take a look at the police log on the ages,
So how much money do you think something like this could bring in
Well, you
to the
figure,
town?
probably each unit is gonna have to be worth at least 350,000, so what's the tax on 350,000? That's $16 a
Because
thousand.
we already have a lot of condominiums, what is it, Eagle Drive?
Right, but those have kids.
Right, but I'm just saying for
Right.
valuation
Right,
purposes,
right.
those are in the 300s, so.
Right, so if you're looking at 350,000 apiece, and there are people who are looking forward to something like that,
Mhm.
especially when they say, okay, somebody's gonna come in, they're gonna mow, they're gonna shovel my walkway,
Yeah, my family's around here, I don't wanna leave the area.
right, yeah,
No, I mean,
Like Douglas, the town.
I live over in the Charles condominiums,
Yeah.
and when they go up for sale, they usually go pretty quick.
goes pretty quick, yeah,
And usually what it is if it goes up for sale in the winter, you'll have a realtor come down and they'll
Yeah.
video stream with the client who's in Florida
Right,
for the
right,
winter, and
right.
then this is gonna be their summer home.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean, there is a decent market for condominiums and small townhouse
Mhm.
where the services are provided by the HOA.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you look at states like Arizona, it doesn't even need to be condos or townhouses. Those are legit houses.
Exactly,
And they're huge developments that
Yeah.
are controlled by HOAs. I mean, you've got 200 member
Right.
HOAs.
Yeah.
And we do have a lot of aging population. Population's living longer.
I mean,
And
if you could get
people
it
have
into a situation where
downsizing.
you could get a bigger piece, instead of even having sidewalks, what they have in these places is they have, little, they're not right along the road, they're like little paths in through that they can run their little golf carts on and stuff,
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is if these are all private streets, I guess they can run their golf cart down the street if they want.
We should ask the state to give us back some of our forest,
Yeah, I know.
so we
Yeah.
can put it there.
The big problem though is the sewers. We don't have sewers up there.
But if you have a development that's big enough,
Right.
they could do their own on site. Because you know the thing is now is away from the type of sewage treatment plant we have, where they discharge into the river. The one that's in Sutton does not discharge into the river anywhere. It's the one that's down by the senior center. The sewage comes from Manchog, comes all the way down there, and it's all in ground.
Process like septic systems
Yep.
we have in our
Yep.
houses.
Well, they're finding, and I argued this 30 years ago, it is crazy to send all your water down the river. If you have on-site, you recharge the groundwater. That might sound crazy with a septic system, but the microbes work on it and it recharges the groundwater.
People who aren't familiar with septics tend to be like, oh, you're drinking pee water. It's like, no, you don't put the well so close
Right, exactly.
to, in the
Yeah,
septic.
you don't
There
want
are-
to drink
Right.
that.
There's Board of Health regulations, you're not drinking
Right.
waste, it's clean.
Right.
But I would say that the town would probably wanna look at potentially, if we gotta do it in a bond or something like that, to extend the water, cause the water is a good moneymaker.
Right.
So you wanna give them water, you don't want them using private water. They
Right.
can use private septic,
Well, the other
and private sewer if they want, but you want them using
Well,
town
the-
water, so you can charge them for the
Right.
water.
Well, the other thing too with the water is, it's gonna be hard to get private wells on this small things. And the minute you start, having more than 25 people drinking out of a water source, it then has to be public water supply, and you have to go under the same regulations, it has to be tested.
You know, a good place for what we're talking
Yeah.
about would be up near the state forest, I think. You know, there's some of that industrial land.
Well,
There's,
there's only 9 acres up there left.
well, you're talking the left side of the road, but the north side of Route 16 is industrial property, which,
No, that's what the state took.
well, it's just a distance back, but Smith's property and all up through
Oh,
there.
up in the back part
All the way
there.
up.
Is there
It's a
any,
big chunk.
any water that runs over by 16 on that end, from
No,
Webster
we have to
area?
get it from Webster.
So you would have to run,
It'd have to be,
it would be easier to run it in from Webster than to run it in from here?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
There's water up by
Does the
north-
casino have?
Northwest Park.
Yep.
It comes into the piping supply place up there, Dawson, was it, or whatever it is.
Oh, up it,
It comes down from Sutton, I think, or
oh,
from
over
Oxford.
on Cliff Street.
Cliff Street,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that's because the pipeline had to run it over there because they poisoned people's wells up there. They had
Years
a
ago.
leak, yeah,
Yeah,
and so they had to bring
so I
it
mean,
over.
that's a possibility. But I guess just thinking about an over 55 district would be good.
Can you take from the reservoir for a new water
To drink
source?
it,
Yeah, if you wanted to treat it, and
Yeah.
then could you build a water facility over off of the reservoir?
yeah, I don't know if they take it directly out of the reservoir.
Where's it come from now? Over there?
Wells, it's all wells.
Okay, so
All
you
deep
would
wells.
drill deep wells?
Right, and
If you had to put up a distinct water facility, because it's too far to run the piping from either Webster or
I don't
you
think-
would drill
frankly,
down?
unless they could bring the town water, I don't think it would happen. Because, you're not on aquifers up there, so you're not gonna get
Okay.
the amount of water that you need. You know, if you were on an aquifer,
Can you take on a scale that large from the watershed?
Oh,
Hey,
Cliff,
Cliff.
this is Economic
you wanna
Development
come join
Commission.
us?
From the days gone by, Cliff used to be a member.
Yeah.
Oh, Barbara?
Hi, Barbara.
The selectmen's meeting is in the
Yeah, we
next room
know.
over.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seems like it's full, a full house in there today.
Busy
You
meeting.
can
Lot of
sit,
things.
you can sit with us, you're town.
Well, we're
Budget
trying to
time.
get into the budget meeting, but there's not even a chair. I was just looking for some folding chairs.
Really?
And-
Seriously, all those chairs are filled? Wow.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Steal some of
Yeah,
these.
take these
Yeah,
chairs.
no.
Somebody
Carry
might frown
on.
on that.
How many, you must have some members missing right now.
Yeah,
We
we
do.
do.
We have Brad missing and then Phil.
Phil,
But we take any old members
Phil
back if
Leonard.
you want
Yeah,
to join it.
You're welcome back, Cliff.
it's been a while.
It's
I
still
know.
a needed
Yeah.
function, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
So maybe we can consult with you while you're here.
Right,
We're thinking of pushing for an over 55 type district where we can get a lot of senior people in that aren't gonna use the school system. And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanna call over 55
Oh,
people seniors, they might take offense to
No,
that.
but senior housing.
Carol's
which-
got a piece of land.
just call it
No,
over
I
55
don't.
housing, that's all.
Yeah, where would you, do you have some thoughts of where it might go?
I
Not
have,
really.
We're gonna put it on Island Road?
there you go.
North.
My thing, I think
Gilboa and North
the
Street.
corner of North and Gilboa Street. And
Oh, yeah.
we're trying to bring in money,
Oh, on the commercial piece?
yeah. I mean, nothing is happening with it.
No.
It's coming in 2005.
Yeah, I know.
That sign was there
And,
for
and you know
years.
what it is, they're even projecting us, we're only going, by 2040, we're only gonna have how many people?
Yeah,
9,500 people.
It's not gonna bring in the CVS's and the,
but in 2000, from
Walgreens.
2000 to 2015, so in 15 years, we did what, 1,600 people? Is that what
Yeah.
that says?
From 2015 to 2020, it's only 400 people.
Right, so the rate
Why-
of growth
why
is
is- why is
Well,
slow.
there's only, so many houses, maybe 7 or 8 houses a year built. How
Right.
many people
Is
is
that
there's
that?
not that much land to
Yeah.
build on.
25 people?
Come on, step it
maybe?
up, Carol.
Right, but if we could bring in an over 55, a lot of people there. And
Yeah.
they don't take many services.
But don't you think that piece on the corner of North and
Yeah.
Gilboa has maybe a higher and better use? I'm thinking of.
Well, I don't know, but.
But you're
you know
saying
what I'm
there's
thinking
not
about?
enough
But,
people.
you were saying higher and better use.
How much
Depends on-
taxes
okay,
could a
How
big
much
box
taxes
store?
would we get compared to
Right,
getting a
So
a
if
bunch
you
of
have-
houses
For
in
the
it?
residential tax,
And-
it doesn't need the requirements of the infrastructure or the schools
Oh,
Right,
services or
exactly.
anything like
So if
that.
you've
Right.
got
So you have
$350,000-$400,000 houses all paying residential taxes,
Yeah,
you may
versus
probably get more than what you'd get out of
a big
out of-
box store.
a store with a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
parking area.
Yeah. Dan Heaney still owns that.
Yeah, I think he owns it with someone else now. He's got a.
But that would work, wouldn't it?
I
People
think so.
would come.
It's actually
I
a
think
business, I
so.
think.
And then we.
Is it Field of
Source.
Dreams?
Oh.
If you build it, they will come. Field of
Yeah.
Dreams.
My thing is, you need to really increase the density. Another half-acre lot, a quarter-acre lot. You go to Texas and they're building $2 million houses on a 4,000 square foot lot.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
come to Massachusetts, oh no, we gotta have 2 acres.
2 acres.
And
That's because we don't like each other here.
Right, if you get
We like the open space.
older people,
Got it.
make the property itself condominium. They're responsible for the streets, everything. That way they have people that come in, not only do they plow the street, but they shovel their walk, they
yeah.
clean in
No, and
front
I
of the
think
garage.
a lot of the aging population in Douglas would really probably migrate to that, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
Right,
so
And-
if they could stay right in town.
right, or
Yeah,
it probably wouldn't be
near their
just Douglas, it'd
families
probably
or
be the
whatever.
valley.
You think that's what, about 8 acres or 12 acres?
14, I
I think
think.
it's 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there enough room, you think, for a little mixed use? Maybe like a store or? a
Well, that was one of the things that I said, that I think you should allow, like a little convenience store, coffee shop.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
that would be a big,
gathering
That would be
place.
a
Gathering
drawing
place.
for the
for
over 55.
people that are over there. You could
Yeah.
walk to the coffee shop or walk to
Right.
the convenience store.
Right, I think you'd need a couple
Yeah.
of things like that.
Well, but you could have, in the building, have a fitness center and some other little things like
Oh,
that.
that's true too, people are
Maybe.
into that.
Yeah. Yeah, but a little mix, I think, but I'll bet it would work.
Yeah, I don't see why, I think it's a good idea.
Access to 146, you know?
Yeah, right,
Good location.
Equidistant from
Yeah.
Worcester and Providence, pretty
Right.
much.
Airports.
Yeah, you're right,
Fly to
yeah.
Florida pretty easy.
Yeah.
146, yeah.
well, I think
People who
we-
don't want to bother with the maintenance of 2 acres and,
Right,
you know,
right.
snow and.
or the maintenance of anything, of even
Yeah.
having to get out the lawnmower.
There is some low to moderate income, right, on that North Street project?
Right, but I'm saying this isn't gonna be low.
Yeah.
No,
right.
this
Yeah,
is
that's
over
a-
55
This is
housing.
over 55.
It could make it a little more high scale. I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going for
Right,
the lower moderate income
right.
this time.
Yeah.
The only
No.
reason they do the low income and the moderate income is because they're doing a 40B and they're overriding zoning, so they don't have a choice.
Right.
We're gonna let them do it by right, but they're gonna end up.
But there's
putting
no
up-
reason these couldn't be fairly upscale units.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Oh, the zoning there is village residential?
yeah, but we'd have to
Create your own zone category.
We'd have to create the own zone, because that half acre is not gonna work.
That's too big.
It's too
Wait,
big.
Wait, yeah, that's what that zoning is.
Right.
Village residential,
Right.
half acre?
Yeah, and that's not gonna work for 20,000 square feet.
No.
We need a whole new zone, but I think it's just basically money coming in.
Yeah, it's been sitting there forever, well, forever, I
Right.
guess. Yeah, something should be done. And
Have you
there's-
been down to, in Plymouth, I forget what the name of it is, that big,
Plymouth,
it's not Plymouth
it's not
Plantation.
estates.
It's, I forget what,
You've mentioned that before.
oh, you
Down in
been there,
Plymouth?
Plymouth, not
That
Plymouth.
huge
I know what you
development?
mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, green,
something, with green communities of, anyway, whatever it is down there in
Yeah.
Plymouth.
I know, I remember you went down and looked at it.
I've been there a lot of times, it's really filled in now.
Yeah,
But they've got,
but they've got all kinds of acreage.
Even,
Yeah, they do.
even
They have
in,
4,000
even
acres.
in Ashland
Summer
and
Reach.
on Hopkinton,
you know,
they've built these over 55 unit,
yeah,
large buildings.
Right.
I've seen them in Ashland and Hopkinton,
Yeah.
they're attractive.
yeah,
Are they outside the town center, or?
Yes, they're right on 135.
that may be something worth going over and taking a look at.
Yeah.
Great
Something-
Island.
Something needs to be done.
Business is not climbing to get here.
Well, that's the
not
problem. If
all
you
over
don't get
55
enough
that way, is it?
population, you don't get the good stores to come in, do you?
Exactly,
And
You know,
that's-
so this might attract businesses, right? If we
I
had-
think it would.
Well, if
We
we
got
could
another
fill that up
1,000.
with a lot of over 55, yeah,
Mhm.
we'll get some stores, you know? And there's other locations, stores could go to.
Right,
Yeah, you're working on it.
Well, it just, the thought just came up tonight.
I think
They
it's a
got
good,
it.
it's a good, I
About
think it's a
for a
good
while.
idea.
Yeah.
Really?
because it doesn't seem like we're gonna get money in any other way.
No.
Tough struggle.
So if you're gonna be a community, residential, you might as well try to figure out what the best residential is.
Exactly, bring in the most money with the least amount of work.
Well,
No, but the population's aging, so it
It
makes
is
sense to
aging.
try to find
Right.
an alternative for people to stay nearby. If all their family,
Right.
friends are nearby, they can stay
And you know,
without
all
having
of-
all to deal with the snow plowing and the grass
Right.
mowing and all that stuff.
Right, and all of the elderly people are not impoverished. I mean, I know there are a
No,
lot who are,
no,
there's no
no,
doubt about that,
no.
I'm not breaking, you know.
But they may just wanna travel and not worry about their lawn.
Right, well,
Sure.
yeah, they wanna do things and they don't wanna have to
Right.
mow the grass and,
Right.
and obviously they tell you, when you're over 50, you shouldn't be out there shoveling, so.
hey, I'm ready, let's do it.
There you
People
go.
would go for something like that rather than a power plant.
Mm.
Power plant would give us a lot of money,
Yeah.
couple million a year
Yeah,
at
right.
Oh,
least.
yeah, well, let's do that,
But
yeah.
nobody wants one of those in their backyard.
No, that's for
Okay,
sure.
I'll vote for it.
All right, Cliff.
Yeah.
Hey, good to talk to you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
same
stopping
here.
by.
Can you tap into the watershed?
The watershed,
Yeah, all that area over there, so for like, water treatment
Yeah.
facility or the wells to pump them water, can you,
it's the water and sewers there,
okay.
over on North Street. It's
Well,
all
I was
there.
thinking over by the fire station, right, cause that's all in the watershed
Fire
district, isn't it?
Oh, up there?
Yeah,
Oh,
The
Ah.
There's
Isn't-
water, if you're talking about where the convenience store is,
Yeah.
the fire station,
Yeah.
that's got town water
it's
right
got
up.
town water over there.
I live right up there, it's
What
town
it-
water.
how does
What-
it make it over there?
It's piped up the
It
street.
goes all the way up,
No
the
sewers, it's
Thompson
just
Road.
water.
Oh,
South-
okay,
Southeast
alright,
Main Street, it goes up there, of course, the town wells are in that area,
okay,
and so they got because it's on sewerage, they got a minimum 2 acre there, because they don't want, you'd have to bring the sewers up because of the town wells. Of course, what did we just buy? We just bought like a whole lot of land over there, didn't we?
52, 58 acres,
Yeah,
something
right,
like that,
exactly.
yeah, pack it in there,
Right, I think there's a restriction on that, though, that it can't be used for residential for like 10 years or something.
oh,
And there are no sewers up there,
There are no sewers,
just water.
right.
It's the
right,
water department that
Right,
owns it.
and they
right?
wouldn't want us to do an even though an
No,
on-site would
yeah.
work well there, because it's all gravel, because of the town wells, I don't think that they Their wells are all
And
over around
it's
there.
a aquifer recharge, isn't it? over
Well,
there?
that was part of the reason they wanted it, to protect the town wells, so I don't think that that's a viable spot for it.
That's right. You really need the sewer capability to put something like that in all straight field wells. Kind of ideal for that.
Plus, you know, the mill owns quite a bit of land as well, so you could zone that into that part too, they would be willing to part with some of their property. And then at that point, once you get that amount of people there, then, you know, eventually when the Pine property, when they get sick of running that as a gravel pit, you know, that'd probably help development in that area.
Well, it'll attract business if more people come
Yeah,
in, especially those with a few bucks that
right,
can
exactly,
afford that type of
right,
building.
So Laytonsville, I'm assuming has over 10,000 residents?
yeah, Whitensville, I think it's about 14,000,
Okay, so that's why the Walmart went in there.
probably, yeah, yeah.
So do we want to step through this thing a little
Oh,
bit?
yeah, let's
little
do
bit
it.
more?
I'm sorry,
I
I
was
got
just-
off on something else and I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, did we decide on, well, we wanna just, poke Matt's brain,
I
see
think
what
we
he
should.
thinks about it, and then go from there?
I think so.
Okay.
Let him bring it to the
That would be
select-
good. Who wants to poke his brain? I really haven't met him.
Oh, I've met him.
I don't know what
I don't
Bill
know.
would,
You can talk to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you've met him too, sure.
I
Seems
just sent him an email earlier today
like- Did you?
about potentially getting finance committee and town managers from several towns of BVD sources
Yeah,
together to
Yeah.
hash over the current situation.
yeah,
I didn't know if that was against the rules, if like you couldn't do that, and he said, no, you can do that.
yeah.
so one thing we could do, or I
Yeah.
could do, is look to see what other zoning regulations for over 55 exist
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
surrounding towns and
Well,
areas,
you know what?
How are they set up?
I definitely wouldn't wanna go to, I think we gotta go way beyond the density of whatever they have in the other towns. There is one in Northbridge up on top of Prospect Street. But I don't know what the density is on it. Let me see if I can find
It really is too bad we can't use the state forest, because you could turn it into an
Oh.
attraction,
it. Oh, I know.
a nice serene wooded experience.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any possibility for that ever happening. The state
No.
acquired the land, and I think it's
Yeah, that's
written
it.
in
It's gone
blood that
forever.
it can never be used for
Yeah.
anything except,
I guess I don't really understand how that came to pass. Meaning, like, how did the land originally get into private hands? Wasn't it at one point all controlled by the federal government and the state? I mean, we're talking back in like 1700s, right? So
Well,
did you move to a new area and then, so you were granted, all that land by, so
I
like
think
when Roger
the state
Williams,
has bought it, the state bought the land.
so like when Roger Williams left Massachusetts,
okay,
did
yeah.
Massachusetts just say, you can have that land, that's yours now, and then he established a state, and then they sell the land based on, like, I really don't know how that happened.
Well, the way the town was formed was by land grants,
yeah.
Okay.
and it's list of residents of Sherburne. And so practically the whole town is
Yeah.
granted land by the state.
Right, and it was
By the
called New
state?
Sherburne,
We were New Sherburne for a while.
and the reason they gave it to the residents of Sherburne was because of something they had taken away from Sherburne.
They changed the town borderline, and
Yeah.
that ticked everybody off.
Right,
And,
so they gave them the land out here.
Yeah, but anyhow, so these residents all own the land,
Mm.
but the state of Massachusetts has acquired this state forest
Right.
land from
Yeah, It
those.
started like in the 1930s,
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
They
So
started-
as people passed on, they acquired the land?
No, they bought
they
it,
just
Okay.
bought it,
they just bought it,
probably not for much money either.
right. And,
I-
and what's really is kinda sad that all of that land that did go up there, well, I don't know if you were aware, at one time they were gonna put a mega dump up there, did you know that? Oh,
Yeah, that
were
was,
you in town at that time, Paul?
I was, yeah.
Oh, yes, it was going to be it was gonna be, it was at the top of the hill,
A landfill or?
a Lansville.
Okay.
Right on the right-hand side, on the Douglas, Webster line. When they cut through, it was gonna be higher than the Worcester Airport. And so,
Would have been a good moneymaker though,
I don't think so, we weren't gonna get any money out of it,
you know?
no.
The city of Johnston doesn't get
Well, they may have,
decent.
but we weren't getting any out of this.
Oh, okay.
We were gonna be able to drop our trash for free.
Oh, okay.
And as a matter of fact, they actually ran a transfer station for us for, what, probably 15 years or so? But it finally, people really didn't want it. And people in Webster didn't want it either, because they figured all that stuff was coming down to Webster Lake.
Right, yeah.
And the state finally did buy it for $11 million. So that we were kinda happy about. But then after, when they started taking everything else, we weren't so happy.
So, what I was thinking of
Yeah.
earlier was, this is industrial land up
Right,
here.
yeah,
And so that, I mean, that's available for something like this. There's water up here. This is all state forest,
right.
green, open space. 5,000 acres of it.
More than
Plus.
that now.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a possibility there. But you'd have to get sewers, and maybe water could come in from
Yeah.
that way.
Who's up there?
This little industrial park up here by Oxford. it's got-
Oxford, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. It's got. So I'm looking through this report, and basically they took asset inventories and they've got some target areas for us.
Oh, do they?
I wonder if, the one question I have
Yeah.
is, are they coming back to work on this later on this
I
year?
don't know if I don't think
Yeah,
they,
they're moving on to phase 2.
are they? Because I thought they didn't hire them again.
No, that was the Worcester whatever.
Worcester
Okay.
Business Development.
Okay, and what's
Yeah.
this?
CMRPC.
Oh, okay, okay,
Right. CMRP is the new one. They are
Right.
working currently in phase 2.
okay,
And phase 2 is identifying the businesses that would work or the required need for the town. So
Right.
within your radius,
Yeah.
what businesses would work best.
So
I
they are
believe-
working on that?
I believe that's phase 2. I don't know what phase 3 is, but.
Yeah, let's see if they say anything here.
What else?
Pine Hills, that's the name of the place in Plymouth,
Pine Hills.
Pine Hills.
What else qualifies as exempt
What do you mean by
in
it?
this report? They have residential exempt, multi-use, chapter 61, industrial, chapter 61B, chapter
Let's see.
61A, and commercial. Is exempt, which one's forest? I'm assuming that's the exempt, because it's.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
But it has to include something else, because it's 31% now, so.
Yeah, they're probably up to that.
Mm.
That could be,
Residential's 46.
but, yeah, I wonder if it's like land underwater or something like
Hmm.
Long Lake and the reservoir and stuff.
What are we looking at? This, what you're talking about?
Oh, no, it is, the Douglas State Forest is a large portion, 31%
Mm.
recorded as exempt, so, okay. Yeah, that, I just didn't know what exempt,
Now, did you see?
totally incorporated.
How come I can't find that thing again that you got for me? I went off of it and now I can't find it.
Going to the email from Paul.
Email? Oh, maybe.
I didn't send it to Carol.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can-
you forwarded it to
Oh,
her.
maybe it's under,
Okay.
It's in the email from Paul and it says, I think we should discuss the, and then you scroll down to my response and the attachment should be in it.
okay. Alright. It should be up here right up the top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this week's meeting, okay, okay.
Right?
It's been here somewhere. Is this it? Right here, Douglas Inventory Report?
Yep. Asset inventory report, yep.
Okay. So did you hear that they might be looking at the grammar school for, police station?
Selectman Cortez, floated the idea, because they use space heaters currently to heat the walls in the cells
Yeah.
to keep them pipes from freezing, which is ludicrous. The floors always leak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
No, it is pretty
it's
bad.
horrendous condition. So, you know, rather than try and find a new police station or build a whole new police station from zero, maybe use, you know, that as a another municipal building. So I think they were going to look into potentially outfitting it, see what the cost was, because the last survey that was done on it was
Pretty
quite
expensive.
quite a while ago
Yeah,
too.
to
So,
be able to do anything.
but I
No,
think
no.
Matt said he walked around in there and it didn't look, it still looks structurally
Yeah,
sound.
oh, it's structurally sound.
We
We've
were
been
up
in it.
there.
Yeah,
So-
we put a new roof on it a few years ago, got rid of all the vision guano.
But the only concern
It's a
was
lot of
they
asbestos and,
they thought maybe, you know, police, you know, flying out of there or whatever.
yeah.
But
Have
I don't know.
to widen that access a little bit,
maybe,
make it
but
better.
more often than not, police are out on patrol. It's
Yeah.
you're not. I mean, I don't think you're gonna find police flying out of the police station too often, because we
Yeah.
don't have an abundance of police where we have them sitting downstairs.
That's
Most of them
true.
are out on the road
That
doing
is true.
something. So
That is
The
true.
police station used to be there, right, where the senior center is, right? The post office. Remember that years ago, Carol?
Oh, yeah.
The police
Yeah,
station used to be
Yeah, it was
there.
upstairs.
and you
Yep.
can't
Before
do
it moved
anything to
here.
that building,
Yeah.
right? Or it reverts back to ownership. Is that correct?
Which one?
The post office building.
Yeah, there's something to do
That
with that,
is,
yeah.
if
yeah.
you,
Moses Wallace device.
you know,
So this talks about Douglas Grammar School being used as housing,
Yep,
you know? I mean,
but
okay, we said it wasn't big enough for
it's,
that.
that's the problem.
If they
and
look
I don't
at
know if you
it,
want to put houses that close to the elementary school. Even the town folk might have a problem.
Well, that's when it's been shot down more than once. They had somebody who came through with a project like that, and they didn't want it.
Right, so having the police right there is probably gonna go over best
You
with
kinda
the
almost-
town folk.
It's probably not a bad idea to have the police, if they're looking for office space,
Mm.
put it in the schools.
That's what they
That's
said,
true.
potential uses include office space.
I mean,
Yeah.
how much extra room do we
Redevelopment
have
is
in that new elementary
Yeah, I'm
school?
wondering, do we have extra room? It'd be, put the police, I know that Chief Foley used to have them go over and do some of their paperwork at the schools.
Mm.
You got paperwork to go over,
You
shut
have
the
a-
brush and do it over there.
You have a resource officer for
We do
each
have one.
school?
No,
Okay, because I know they have one at the high school.
yeah, but it's the same one that goes to.
Okay, so he just bounces
He
around.
bounces around, right.
Yeah, I mean, that would be what, 4 or 5 police officers? 4 police officers?
Yeah, that'd be a lot of,
Well, I
If
don't
we-
think you need one here, because they're right downstairs,
Right,
but
right.
then, so then you have the
Yeah.
primary, the elementary,
Yeah.
middle, and high school, so
Right.
that'd be 4 officers who are just,
yeah. we
Tied up
can't-
all day.
We can't afford that.
right. It'd be nice if we could, but.
Yeah,
So let's see, appendix 2. Supposedly it's got all the redevelopment areas in it. I'm not finding it right off the bat. Oh, economic target areas. Got the historical structures.
Yeah, appendix 2 with the commercial and industrial property by use, type, and owner.
I think supposedly it's economic target areas.
I don't think they, I thought that's what they were coming back to present.
Appendix 2.
Well, the target information on what works best.
Yeah, what kind of businesses would best fit us?
Yeah.
so what are they showing?
This thing is actually a little tough to read because it's. This is an asset inventory. So you think it's appendix 2? Let's check that out.
Well, appendix 2 is the commercial and industrial properties by use type and owner that the town currently has.
Okay, current.
Yes. Phase 2 is what they're coming back to present, which is which businesses.
The target areas.
Right, yeah.
So this is just existing. An existing inventory. So there was some talk about the EDC meeting on Thursdays,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if we actually voted for it or if we just discussed it.
Yeah, I don't
But
remember.
it didn't get changed on the schedule.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
it
yeah,
still
yeah,
is-
so unless it's been posted,
Yeah.
It hasn't been
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah, so Brad said he changed it, but it didn't permanently change it, so. I guess he has to request it again. Because for this exact purpose, when Carol brings this up, it would be nice to have Matt sitting in the room and then Matt could give his 2 cents right away.
yeah.
As opposed to now we have to do a back and forth a little bit.
Right, unless we met with them, but there's no time for that
Mm.
on a night like tonight.
Yeah, they're pretty well busy.
Are you
today.
okay with Thursdays?
Yeah, Thursdays is fine by me.
It's not gonna conflict with any other meetings?
My life's not that exciting.
And you're okay, Eric, with Thursdays? So, yeah, I mean, if that change goes through, I'm okay with Thursdays too.
Yeah. It seems like
So-
everything meets on Tuesday over here.
Do we have
Yeah.
anything more to discuss, committee, or can we wrap this up tonight? And we've got some action items here. You're gonna touch base
Yeah.
with Matt, and then I'm gonna look around and see what other regulations exist for towns like Douglas.
You know what? I'll touch bases with the owner of that land.
Okay. Just to see if there's,
See
if
if
that's a
they-
possibility.
if they've got some interest.
Because that would be ideally suited for it
Yeah. I'll touch bases with him.
if in fact. So I entertain a motion to adjourn, if,
So
I'll make a
moved.
motion to adjourn. Yeah.
Seconded.
Okay.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.